On Fox, thousands of Upstate students and teachers are about to head back to the classroom next week. This year comes with added anxiety in wake of the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, just 3 months ago.
So we sat down with 3 Upstate sheriffs to ask them how they're preparing to keep kids safe and what they learned from the tragedy in Texas.
Shots fired!
We had a meeting right after Uvalde.
Get inside! Go, go, go!
And I told them both, I said, if I'm the first guy on scene, I'm going in.
He's inside this building.
And I'm gonna find the threat, and I'm gonna take the threat out. And if I fail to do so, as soon as you get there, you better be going in too.
We're going in or we're staying here? What are we doing?
Uvalde, once just a quiet Texas town, now synonymous with tragedy.
Go, go, run over there.
19 students and 2 teachers shot and killed in the middle of the school day. The worst imaginable unfolding once again.
I was just really jumping side to side, and I said, go, 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 whatever it is, just go.
3 Upstate sheriffs, Sheriff Chad McBride of Anderson County, Sheriff Rick Clark of Pickens County, and Sheriff Hobart Lewis of Greenville County, all knew as they watched the law enforcement response in Texas was failing.
The last thing you want to do is to really bash another agency or be critical of them, but we live in a day and age where we have to. We have to address those things, and you better be prepared for those things to happen here.
A report from the state of Texas shows systemic failures and egregious poor decision-making. Injured victims inside the school waited over an hour for help, and according to investigators, law enforcement failed to prioritize innocent lives over their own safety and stop the killing.
I don't think any of us question what our men and women are capable of doing or willing to do when it comes down to sacrificing their own safety to save others.
We're blessed with Upstate of the great people we have are going to go in, and they're not thinking about themselves. Sometimes that gets them in trouble, but they're going in to stop the threat.
But guaranteeing safety in the classroom is hard. We've seen time and time again in response to some of these shootings, you have these parents saying, I just want my child to be safe in the classroom.
Yep.
You have a parent come up to you, say, can you promise that my child will be safe in the classroom? How do you respond to that?
Man, I wish I could. I wish I could promise my kid's gonna be safe in the classroom. But I'm gonna do every damn thing that I possibly can to make sure they're safe in the classroom, I promise you that.
In Anderson County, the training has been elevated. Child actors are hired to scream for help as deputies move through the school.
It was extremely realistic. As a first responder, your first instinct is, this person has a wound to the chest. I want to apply a chest wound seal, but we had trained, hey, you have to step over them. As hard as that's going to be, when that kid is screaming for help and reaching up at you, you have to go take the threat out or you're going to have more of this.
In Pickens County, Sheriff Clark uses repetition to take a critical look at his staff.
You've got to do it over and over and over again. So what you get out of that also, if you have an officer who's just not ready for it or something, and that comes out during the training, that may save lives there.
In Greenville, the training comes with the reality of the shooting at Tanglewood Middle School, where a 12-year-old was shot and killed. And Brookwood Church, where we're sitting, served as the reunification center where parents were able to hug their children after that fateful day. Multiple agencies working together to make those moments possible.
The important thing is those deputies and police officers all responded the same way. Nobody was lined up waiting on instruction. We all train in a very similar fashion when you talk about addressing an active shooter.
The sheriffs also calling on parents and the community, which they feel may be the most important of all in preventing a school shooting.
We wonder how we're going to stop this is people taking care of people, because it starts off very small and the people gets worse and worse and worse, and people watch them and say, well, something's wrong with them. Well, we're going to have to intervene, not as police officers, but as human beings, to take care of each other. That's where we're losing out. We're trying to put somebody's mental health on somebody else.
I got a lot of theories on this, but I think we have parents that aren't parenting their kids. You need to be active in their life and get them involved in something productive, and not be naive to the fact that this kid could go off the deep end at any second, and I think everybody's scared to say it.
The sheriffs hope to have everyone working together to protect the most precious, most innocent, and the future of the Upstate.
We're going to pour every resource toward our schools and our young people They're 100% of the future that's going to make up this county one day. We will leave this part of the state to them as they grow up, and that's important.
You know, make time for those children. I mean, they're a gift from God. Treat them as such and raise them right, and be involved in it.